when we started talking about football, what I expect, what they expect, how they see the game, how I see it. And, I just want us to continue to improve. And the only thing that really gets me excited is winning games and, it's competing hard every week in practice and seeing us improve. And we got a lot of hardworking guys. And I think that's really been a reflection of, our progress over, since the beginning of the year. And I would really want us to see us to continue to improve it. So it's decent. We're getting better, but I think we're going to have to keep ratcheting it up. And that only takes place on the practice field. And then we got to take it from the practice field to the game field.
Next will be Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, I just want to ask you about your stance in shotgun. It's something that Troy Aikman had brought up on air a couple weeks back. I know you put a lot of thought into kind of every aspect of passing. So just want to ask you about what made you want to make a change and how you feel it's worked.
Well, I feel like it was something I thought about in the off season about getting my body in a better position to throw even before I receive the ball from the center. And we're in the shotgun a lot. I've had my right leg up at times, had my left leg up, but I'm liking the square stance. I feel like it's just a more natural, relaxed position, almost like you're, getting ready to field a ground ball. And then I just got to turn my body and I'm in a good position to throw. But sometimes if you start off, let's say not in a good throwing position, you got to do something to get yourself in a good throwing position. I think what I'm trying to do is start in a good throwing position. And then when I rotate my body, I'm locked and loaded and ready to go. So I don't have to do much adjustment post snap. Just got to catch the snap, pivot my body, and feel like I'm in a good position to throw.
Next will be Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom. Regarding your new teammate, Antonio Brown, this isn't the first friend or teammate you've had with the past, and you've also got a sterling reputation yourself. How do you approach your relationship with guys like that? Is it simply about football and, hey, I think this guy can help us win? Or is it even more than that? Like maybe I can have a positive impact on this guy. I'm just curious to kind of hear your thought process on how you try to navigate those relationships.
Well, I always try to have bring a positive impact to our locker room. And I had so many guys that I looked up to when I was a player. And when you start in the NFL, I started on a team with a lot of great veteran leaders and guys that really took me under their wing. Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Troy Brown, Drew Bledsoe, just exceptional players, but great guys. And then over the years, when you transition from a younger player to an older player, you really want to see guys succeed and you want to see guys do well. And it's always about maximizing your potential. And I had a lot of people support me over the years, realizing that I was far from where I needed to be. And they would guide me to and provide me with the help that I needed as a player to reach my potential. And I think that's, how you impact people. And I think we talk about that a lot as professional athletes. How you impact people on the field is one thing. How you impact people off the field is another. So whether that's teammates that you can impact or people in the community that you can impact, I think all those things are important. And you just try your best every day, realizing that, so a lot of people weren't born with the same advantages that I've had growing up. They weren't born with the same background or support systems that I had. And I think when you recognize that and you bring that to relationships, all you can do is the best you can do. And, for me, I think that's something that I really enjoy still about playing football is that I have probably more perspective than just about every player in the league right now based on my years of experience and what I've seen. And I want to see other guys succeed. And I think a lot of joy in my experience comes from seeing other people be their best and seeing people succeed in ways that can set their family up. And I think that's a really important aspect of football for me.
Next will be Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Tom, you guys have obviously, this has been a game of adjustments with the injuries. Can you touch on, and you seem to figure out a solution every week, can you touch on, obviously, the adjustment of losing Godwin this week, and then what you can do going forward, what you can do, if anything, to get Antonio up to speed as fast as possible, given sort of the circumstances you have to work under with that?
Well, I don't think, we're 5-2. I don't think everything's been like perfect out there. We're fighting and clawing for every win. So, we got to obviously take our performance to the next level. And that starts, like I said, in practice. And we got to execute in practice. We got to trust one another. We got to communicate through difficult looks. a team that we're playing this week in the Giants that presents a lot of defensive looks, a lot of different fronts. Our identification is very important. They rotate a lot of guys in defensively. There's a lot of different coverage schemes they use. They put a lot of pressure on the offense to communicate well, to make pre-snap decisions, post-snap decisions. And, it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed game. They're very physical. We're going on the road. Monday night game in prime time. We're going to have to be at our best.
Next will be Steve Isbitz.
Tom, during the offseason after you signed with the Bucs, did you spend any time working out or throwing with Antonio Brown? And if so, how beneficial might that be now?
I've been pretty focused on, working out with all my teammates. And, it was a good off season. We spent a lot of time at Berkeley prep. It was fun being over there and challenging one another. And I thought we got a good start on things in a time where, everyone was kind of off. But, I thought we got a lot of good work in. And Chris, Mike, Scotty, Cam, Gronk, OJ, Rojo, Dare was there. So it was cool.
Next will be Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Scott.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, you've had years where you've had really good weapons and some years where you've been limited in terms of the good weapons around you. How comforting is it for you to have so many great weapons to throw to in Tampa, given your stance and Bruce's of throwing to the open guy and then virtually every one of those guys being a playmaker for you?
I think our skill guys are doing an incredible job. And I think, their attitude, their work ethic, their toughness. Mike obviously is, in my view, one of the great players to play in the NFL. He's just spectacular. He's got incredible skill set. His attitude, his production. I wish I'd get him the ball more. And when you have a guy like that, you want to find ways at every opportunity to get him the ball. And he's doing a great job getting open. And he's just has an incredible skill set. And Chris, what he's done for our offense, Scotty gets a lot of looks, and he's taking advantage of his opportunity. So tight ends are doing a good job. Backs doing a good job. So we got to be effective. We got to be efficient. We got to continue to trust one another. We need to continue to improve because I don't think, like I said, we're a perfect, we're not perfectly finished and everything's, this is great. And I don't think any of us feel like that. I feel like we have a lot of room to grow. And the only way we can do that is by working hard at it and understanding where we're at, having awareness of, the things we need to work on, and then getting the work done, and then seeing the improvements on the field and then taking it to the game.
We have time for a couple more. I'll go to Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Tom, after a penalty-plagued game against Chicago, you guys have really been strong over the last 2 weeks, just four flags against the team in these last two games. What was the turning point that really got the message across to the guys to be more disciplined? And do you guys have internal fines, and do they help?
No, BA's been on us since day one about penalties, and it's our responsibility to play a penalty-free game. And when you don't do that, it sets you back, and it certainly set us back in different games this year. It's been better the last couple of weeks. We expect no penalties, and that's where you got to play. You can't turn it over. Cannot